Hey you guys, it's Tuesday morning and we're going to go ahead and do a craft live. I know it's been a while. We've been in transition moving and now we are staying with some family, so it's still a little chaotic, but I just couldn't stay away from crafting any longer. So here we are back in action. Alright, so today what I thought we would do, so pretty much I went to the dollar store because like I said, we're in transition, so we still don't have most of my stuff. Most of my stuff is in boxes in some place that I know not of. So I went to the dollar store and just collected some things. So what I got was a journal, and you see this is kind of what we're doing today. So it's a journal, and I have it covered with Mod Podge paper, which I had never heard of before, decoupage paper, and I put a nice little ribbon on just to add to it, and so it just kind of gives a little bit of decoration to the journal. Alright, so that's what we're going to do. And so the decoupage papers that I got at the dollar store came with 2 in each one. So I had these 2 to choose from. And my husband said since the other one was a little more masculine that I should go with the butterflies today. So that's what we're going to do. And each kind of paper you get 2 pieces of. And luckily they actually suit the journal size almost perfectly. It would be ideal for it to have just a little bit more on the sides, but other than that it's pretty good. Alright, so I have, I just got some of the Mod Podge from the dollar store as well, and just got some really cheap paint brushes. I mean, it's just for spreading glue pretty much, so nice and easy. So I'm going to get some of that ready on the side. We got our butterfly paper and our journal. So just going to do one side of it and then place it to be able to get this to work. So make sure if you have ones that have like the dates or anything that you're not doing it upside down or anything like that. Luckily this one has no marking, so I can get away with just about anything. Alright, so just going to add a little bit of the Mod Podge onto the back of the cover, and I found that this was a faster way of getting more on. Otherwise you can just do, you know, normal, put some on the side like I did for later. Alright, it's really easy. Just try to make it even. You don't want it to be too thick, but you do want it to stick. Okay, just evenly spreading it out. If there's extra, you know, grab a paper towel or something else. You can wipe it on an old box or empty cereal box or something. Alright, just about there, just about covered on the one side. Okay, and I have a little bit extra, so like I said, I'm just going to wipe it on something on the side so then it doesn't get too wet, because then I'll be more likely to tear, and we don't want it tearing because I only have a certain amount of papers to work with. Alright, and there we go. So this one, like I said, is really close, so I want to make sure you guys can see. So I'm going to line it up, and you want there to be some hanging off the edge. So if you're getting it exactly to the size, that won't be ideal because you want to kind of wrap it around, kind of like wrapping a present, you know. Alright, so get right near the edge, make sure it's all flat. Alright, make sure it's straight. And that looks fairly good. Not all the way good, but fairly good. Alright. Yeah. Alright, so that's one side. Nice and stuck. Alright, so at that point is usually, here, I'll scoot my glue gun so I have a little bit more elbow room. At that point, I open it up and start folding the sides in on the inside. And what I did last time, oh, let's do that just a little bit. There we go. What I did last time was I actually put it on the paper, where this time I'm actually going to just put it right on the book, because I actually think it sticks better when it's right on the book. Just trim it up a little bit. Alright, background noise, because my husband didn't finish the baking when he was supposed to. Right, Joshua? Alright, so here we go, just doing the edging to be able to fold the paper down. And just make sure there's enough, but you don't want it super thick, right? Alright. Alright, and then I'm just going to start at the top for me and just fold it down. Fold it down, it's sticking real good. And then I do the bottom, fold it down, make sure it's sticking. Alright, and then fold it in. Alright, So that's what it should look like. Nice and simple, right? All right, and then I like to do the, what's it called? Not the border, the binding. There you go. Right on the binding. Do that separately to make it just a little bit easier. Okay, I'm making a big mess with the Mod Podge. All right, go across here. Make sure to just not pull it too tight because you want it a little bit loose there, because when it's opening and closing, you want to have that cushion space, because otherwise it's just going to tear, right? Alright, so we're just going to line that up and fold it over. So let it sit for a moment, and then at that point there'll be like a little bit sticking out there, and just kind of tuck that in. And there should be enough glue hanging out there to hold it in. If not, you can just add a little bit more. And then the other side, same thing, just tuck it on in there. Oh, that one feels like it needs a little bit more glue. Alright, got that all tucked in. Alright, and now we'll do the other side. And once more, like I said, it tends to work better if we actually do it on the book itself. So we'll go ahead and do what we did on the other side, but do a little bit less because I had a little too much on that one. There we go. And same like the other side, just kind of spreading it out, getting it around. Make sure you guys can see it. And you kind of want to do it quickly too, because you don't want it to dry too much where it's not going to stick to anything. And just about done here. And the edges. And done. Alright, set our thing aside. Make sure again that we're kind of trying to line it up, because it will want to shift, and you know, we're not perfect, so make sure we're eyeing it out. Alright, that looks pretty good. See, it's pretty even on either side. Alright, and then we'll open it up. This one's a little bit more wrinkly on that side. And then I have lots of extra sticking out there. See that? So I'll try, once more, try and keep it straight. You could grab a ruler, but to save time, I'm not going to do a ruler. I'm just going to do it by eye. And just cutting off the extra, trying to keep it as straight as I can without the ruler. Because I don't have a ruler. Alright, so here we go. And that's the one side. So we're going to do once more the same thing. Just going to put the Mod Podge along the edges and then tuck it in again. Alright, and then along the outside. Alright, and this might even be nice for your kids starting school. If you got just some of the plain colored notebooks or anything like that, then this might be a nice idea to just kind of add a little covering to it. I think probably tissue paper would work pretty similarly, so you could probably get away with that, because this decoupage paper is probably not big enough to cover most of the notebooks, but I think the tissue paper would probably work dandy. So you could go pick out a nice flashy one for the kids, or a cute one or whatnot, celebration one. Alright, there we go, tucking that. And then what I kind of like to do, which I didn't show on the other one, is kind of fold in the side, kind of make a corner edge, because then it'll just make it nicer for folding back over, right? Then we kind of go over, and there we go. Now once more, like I said, it'd be ideal to get just a little bit bigger. As you can see, I've got a little bit of the black still showing there. And they actually said with the decoupage paper that it's really good if you're working with darker colors to go ahead and paint white, just so you can see the pictures better. So I think that would be a great idea if you guys want to do that. If not, I'd still kind of like how this is kind of like a little bit more rustic because of it having the dark behind it. And then we do have to do one more Mod Podge just on the outlines again, just to make sure that paper is going to stay down. And if there's anything sticking out, then get a little bit of that glue underneath it and push it down again. Alright. And do the other side, just kind of holding it open so then it doesn't glue to other things. And I think this is on the wrong page. There we go. Kind of like this did. So you might want to let it dry a little bit more. Once more for this live. I try and keep it nice and quick for you guys. So no drying available. Alright. Just about done here. Alright. Alright, so that's about it for the drying. And then, like I did on the other one, sometimes it's fun to add some ribbon or some bows or buttons. I always like having buttons or bows or flowers to add on, just a nice little touch. So we'll let this dry just for another moment. And I'm just going to do a lovely blue ribbon to go with the blue butterflies on there and keeping with the darker theme. And so I'm just going to measure it approximately, make sure you have enough to tuck around the edges. And there you go. It's probably still a little too long, but with the ribbon especially, you want to make sure that it has a full tuck around because otherwise it's more likely to fray and cause problems. Okay, so I just kind of line it up, choose it, get an idea of how far I want it to be from the edge there. And I'm just using a hot glue gun today for that. Make sure I put a little bit more on. Okay, make sure to try and make it as flat as you can, so squish it down, try not to burn yourself. Because all of us crafters do that, right? Alright, and this ribbon actually has two different sides to it, so that's kind of cool. So then you could use one side for, you know, the strip down and maybe make a bow out of the other side. And then they will still perfectly match. Alright, and so what I'm doing is I'm just going to do a line right up on for the glue. Almost out of glue on this one. Kind of make it a little bit thinner. I'm using the nose of the glue gun to kind of flatten the glue out a little bit more. Alright, nice and flat. And add another dot and wrap it around the side. Once more, make sure you get all those sides down on this. You don't want them sticking out. Alright, so that's our ribbon along, and you can stop with that, but I had actually made a bow earlier, so I'm going to go ahead and add it just to give it one more drop of pizzazz. Let's see if, come on, glue. Oh, there we go, just enough. Alright, that'll be perfect for some kids for school, right? Alright, so if you want to dress up your journal or dress up notebooks, this is a great and easy way, inexpensive way to be able to do that. So I hope you guys are all still having a wonderful summer. There's not much left, and I hope you guys are getting all on track. We finally got started with figuring out with our kids for starting school, so hopefully you all have figured that out yourselves. All right, you guys, have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bye.